Hi everybody. I wanted to make a video today about why the narcissist is jealous of the empath and kind of segue into a discussion about pathological envy. Or maybe I should even start with pathological envy. Now, jealousy is very normal. I think that you'd be hard-pressed to find a person on Earth that hasn't felt jealous at one point. But the difference between the sort of jealousy that the average person with an average neurochemistry feels and the sort of jealousy that the narcissist feels is very different. Maybe in essence, it's the same emotion, but the difference is in how they treat the emotion and how they act on the emotion as opposed to a normal person. Now, let's say I'm jealous of somebody, and there have been plenty of examples of that, even within the last month. I understand on some level that feeling is wrong, and I have an intervening sense of conscience that tells me that I need to quit feeling jealous, and I may redirect my actions, my outward actions, may do something kind of to dispel that feeling of jealousy. So for example, if I'm jealous of somebody's career status, I may come up to them and compliment them on their promotion at work. Because in some sense, I feel icky, and most empathetic people feel icky inside when they feel jealous. And they're usually able to step back and look at the emotion for what it is, and then figure out a plan to deal with the emotion, whether it be complimenting the person because they know that it's a way to wash their hands of their feeling, their negative feeling, or maybe they want to say, okay, well, this person is great, they worked really hard to get where they are, so I'm going to work as hard, and I'm going to set aside time in my day to do what they did, to maybe achieve what they achieved. That's just normal, common sense reaction to somebody else's success. Now, it's not nice to be jealous. It's not like, but I feel like feelings are not controllable to an extent. To any extent, actually. You can't help the way you feel. You can help the way you act and the actions you take, both towards the person that you're jealous of and within your own life, to sort of dispel that icky feeling of being jealous. But to say that you never experience it would be a lie. Now I want to talk about pathological envy and the narcissist. Now, the narcissist has a pathological envy that permeates their entire being. So, they're not able to count their blessings in situations when they feel jealous and to set aside that emotion. And so, let's say the narcissist has 20 dresses, and they're all beautiful dresses, and they all are for different occasions, and they look absolutely stunning in these dresses. They will find a person in the room, or they may catch eyes with a person in the room that has on a beautiful dress. And that dress could be just as beautiful as the 20 or 30 dresses the narcissist has from a designer of the same caliber with the same, made by the same tailor, absolutely exquisite dress, and they will still be jealous of that one dress that other person has. And that's the crucial difference between pathological envy and jealousy. Jealousy is often transient because the person understands this isn't the best part of my personality. I don't want to own this feeling. I don't want to live with this feeling. So I need to do something to get rid of this feeling. And I'm not going to act on this feeling. But the narcissist will come up to that person and target them just because they didn't like that beautiful dress that they wore on that one evening where they maybe outshone the narcissist for 5 seconds. And that is the difference between the narcissist and everybody else, is that they are vindictive, they target people that are making the best of themselves because they simply cannot live with the idea that somebody is in possession of something positive. And another reason why they're jealous is because it's sad to be them. It's sad not to have emotions, not to have an emotional life. You know, our emotional life has its pitfalls. We can fall into depression, we can fall into anxiety, we can feel sad, we can feel angry at ourselves. However, emotions are also what ties us together and helps us understand one another. And I feel like there's something very beautiful about being able to be happy for somebody else, to have that capacity. And we don't even think about it. It is second nature to us. Empathy is inborn. You can't suppress the feeling of euphoria you have when you see a small child being cute, or a dog, or a cat, or a person that you really admire. You can't suppress that because it just exists within you. But imagine being the narcissist and not having the capacity to ever feel good for somebody, to feel good about yourself, to feel happy, to feel joyful, to feel loyal, to feel like you've accomplished something and have this great emotion, sense of accomplishment. But that's their everyday life and they can't help it. And that's why many years later, and after much research on this topic, I feel sorry for narcissists. They don't know what they're missing. And maybe I shouldn't even say that. Maybe it's because they know what they're missing, that connectivity between people, that understanding, that implicit understanding that we have towards one another, that we take for granted again, that they want to destroy us, normals, or neurotypicals, whatever you want to call us. It's just mind-boggling to me that somebody would be upset and irritated at somebody else's happiness, or somebody else's joy, or somebody else's achievement, or somebody else's peace of mind. It's mind-boggling, but that's exactly what they feel. They feel jealous. They can't control their jealousy. Their jealousy is off the rails when somebody's doing well. And that's why they gravitate towards positions of power, because once you're in power, you can control more and more and more people. in narcissistic workplaces. All the employees in one facet or another are pandering to the narcissistic boss. And it can't be otherwise, because that's why they hire people. That's one of the main criteria. How much can I get this person to suppress the innate joy that they have in living, in breathing, in laughing about life? How much can I get them to suppress their natural state of happiness so that I can feel better about myself? And that's why being fired by a narcissist, especially in the very, very beginning of your employment, is a huge compliment, because that tells you that you are not good supply to them. And if they demote you, that could even be a compliment, because that just says that they sense that you're onto them. They're constantly watching people. They're people watching to see if a person is in a state of misery to the point where they cannot figure them out. And post-traumatic stress disorder is nothing more but a long reaction to chronic patterns of being suppressed. Your happiness being suppressed, your joy being suppressed, your natural states of consciousness being suppressed. And the person on some level understands that in order to survive, because the narcissist puts you in a state of dependency, whether it be financial dependency or housing or something of that nature, in order to survive or in order not to be displaced, the person needs to act sad. They need to act depressed. They cannot be happy. They cannot look for happiness, because if they look for happiness, there will be a negative consequence with a narcissist, whether it be being fired, being thrown out of a house. If you're the child of a narcissist, many times they will throw the scapegoated child onto the street because they want to demonstrate what happens if that child tries to be themselves, their naturalistic selves. And this envy permeates their entire being. They hate people because they can't be people. Because they don't know how to be people. Because they have to put all of their mental energy, all of their resources, and this is where you have to feel sorry for them, into presenting themselves as normal. Would you want to change your place on this earth for theirs? I mean, I wouldn't want to be a narcissist. It's exhausting to be a narcissist. To constantly cover your tracks, to constantly act. It's fucking pitiful what they do. So don't be sad. Don't regret that you're an empath. Don't regret that you have a normal chemistry, because you don't even have to think about being normal. You don't even have to think about existing in the world. You just exist. You have the proper reactions. You have the proper reflexes. You have the proper sentiments. People are not disgusted by you when you don't show the proper reaction, because you don't have to think about it. It's unconscious. It's part of your wiring. And don't be jealous about the narcissist's pathological envy, because if you think about envy, it's a horrible emotion, and being in a state of paranoia and envy and not being able to appreciate what you have, it must be fucking terrible. Sorry for my swearing. Kisses.